Deva Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankajanaabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanitraya Namaste Pankajangri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 16, Executing the Payo-vrata Process of Worship. So here, Kashyap Muni advises his good wife that in order to be free from perplexities of life, you must take shelter of Kṛṣṇa, or Lord Vishnu, or Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the master of all, he is the friend of all, he is the Jagat Guru, he knows everything, so he will certainly help you out. Even though she had a kind of problem on the bodily level, like, oh, my children are homeless. That was her problem. Because her children, namely Adityas, were kicked out by the power of Bali Maharaj. So let's see what happens further. So Kashyap Muni is guiding Aditi here. Text number 20 we read last. That solution to all problem is to take shelter of Kṛṣṇa. Let's do the next one. Text number 21. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Savidhasyati te kaman harir dinanukampanaha amogha bhagavad bhaktir netareti matir mama. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. It's a long purport, so maybe I'll read just the half of it. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is very merciful to the poor, will fulfill all of your desires, for devotional service unto Him is infallible. Any method other than devotional service is useless. That is my opinion. Kashyap Muni is speaking these. Purport. There are three kinds of men who are called Akama, Mokshakama, and Sarvakama. One who tries to get liberation from this material world is called Mokshakama. One who wants to enjoy this material world to its fullest extent is called Sarvakama, and one who has fulfilled all his desires and has no further material desires is called Akama. A bhakta has no desire. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam. He is purified and free from material desires. A mokshakami wants to achieve liberation by merging into the existence of the Supreme Brahman. And because of this desire to merge into the liberation or into the existence of the Supreme Lord, he is not yet pure. And since those who want liberation are impure, what to speak of the karmis who have so many desires to fulfill? Nonetheless, Shastras say, Akama sarva kamo va mokshakama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. Whether one desires everything or nothing or desires to merge into the existence of the Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships the Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering transcendental loving service. Would someone like to complete the purport?
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, please.
Kashyap Muni saw that his wife Aditi had some material desires for the welfare of her sons, but still he advised her to render devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, everyone, regardless of whether he is a karmi, jnani, yogi, or bhakta, should invariably take shelter of the lotus feet of Vasudeva and render transcendental loving service unto him, so that all his desires will be duly fulfilled. Krishna is Dina Anukampana. He is very merciful to everyone. Therefore, if one wants to fulfill his material desires, Krishna helps him. Of course, sometimes if a devotee is very sincere, the Lord, as a special favor to him, refuses to fulfill his material desires and directly blesses him with pure, unalloyed devotional service. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.38 and 9, 38 and 39. Krishna kahe an ama bhaje mage vishaya sukha amrita chadi visha mage ei bada murkha ami vigyana ei murkhe vishaya kene diba swacharnamrita diya vishaya bulaiba. Krishna says, if one engages in my transcendental loving service, but at the same time wants the opulence of material enjoyment, he is very, very foolish. Indeed, he is just like a person who gives of ambrosia to drink poison. Since I am very intelligent, why should I give this full material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget illusory material enjoyment. If a devotee maintains a material desire and at the same time very sincerely desires to engage at the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna may directly give him unalloyed devotional service and take away all his material desires and possessions. This is Lord's special favor to devotees. Otherwise, if one takes to Krishna's devotional service but still has material desires to fulfill, he may become free from all material desires, as Dhruva Maharaj did. But this may take some time. However, if a very sincere devotee wants only Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna directly gives him the position of Shuddha Bhakti, unalloyed devotional service. Thank you, Prabhu. So here we see that it's the only thing that we really need is Krishna's pure devotional service, and Krishna can give us it in a shortcut like an elevator, or Krishna can give us it in our steps. It depends on how sincerely we are praying for it, that he can give us the fastest or he can give us the slow in a slow manner. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So bhakti is universal, and whether one has all desires, sarva kama, sarva means all, whether one has no desires, akama. Kama means desires, akama means no desires, or no material desires. That means seeking only spiritual desires. Or one has desire for liberation. As Prabhupada is mentioning, who will answer this? Aditi fit in which of the three categories? Mother Aditi in this situation, who knows the answer? Akama, Sarvakama, Mokshakama. Sampada Mataji, would you like to try?
Is it the third one? I don't know.
Mokshakama? No. Anyone else would like to try?
Sarvakama.
Sarvakama, yeah, material desires, right? It was a material desire. What was the desire? Who will tell? Miss Prabhu?
That she wants that kingdom back for her son.
Yes, similar to Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj also had material desire. But Krishna is very, very intelligent. So even one has material desires, one should not worship demigods or seek demigods. Oh, give me wealth. Oh, give me this. Because demigods will give only that, or may give only that. Even if it is not good for the jiva. Like the big difference in approaching demigods and approaching the Supreme Lord is that the demigods may give that, whether it is good for the child or good for the jiva or not, they will not care. They are duty bound. You ask for it, you pay the price, you will get it. But Krishna is our well-wisher, our supreme well-wisher. So he will give that thing, but at the same time, he will purify the desire for selfish enjoyment, like Dhruv Maharaj's story. He got the kingdom, but he didn't misutilize it. He utilized it in the service of the Lord. There are multiple examples. On the contrary, we see Lord Shiva giving boons to Bhasmasur. We see Brahma giving boons to Hiranyakashipu. They paid the price of tapasya and they got the boons. Whether it was good for them, whether they misutilize it or utilize it properly, no, that only Krishna. If one approaches Krishna, Krishna says, Ami Vigya, I am intelligent. The child may be murk, the child may be less intelligent, not knowing whether I should ask for it or not ask for it. The child asks for every day, let's say chocolates every day. The father or mother will not give it. Sometimes they may give it, sometimes they may not give it. Why? Because they are the well-wishers of the child. So first they will make sure the child is purified. That means the child is fit to receive it. Then they'll give it. Whether as the uncle comes once in a blue moon, oh uncle, I want chocolate. Oh uncle, so child wants chocolate, he'll give chocolate. Whether that uncle may not know that by eating that chocolate, the child will get some bad tooth, right? But the father knows. So here father is Krishna, uncle is demigod. So in short, whether one has, in all situations, one must do bhakti. Krishna is addressed here as Dina Nukampa. He is very, very merciful, Dinanath. He's Dina means one who is feeling that Krishna, you are my only thing. Dina doesn't necessarily mean a beggar. Dina means one who is a beggar at heart. Mosama patita prabhu nahi tribhuvane. Dina hina jane. I am like a beggar. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottama Thakur in their bhajans call out so many times that that I am the most fallen. So Dina doesn't just necessarily mean poor. It means materially having that sense that Krishna, you are my only thing. Akinchana, basically. The word akinchana is used. Tuam akinchana gochara. One who feels that मेरा और कोई नहीं, अकिंचन. Kinchan means or someone else will protect me. My money will protect me, or my family will protect me. My job will protect me. My bank balance will protect me. Akinchana means one who is completely taken shelter. Krishna, only you can protect me. That's the Nanukampana. Naha. And also the word uses Amoga Bhaktir Amoga Bhagavad Bhaktir. That means devotional service is infallible. We discussed yesterday also. His Grace Pran Govind Prabhu mentioned the three things which are infallible. An easy way to remember is three bha: Bhagavan, Bhakti, and Bhakta. Or service, servitor, and servant. Right? So that's eternal, that's infallible. There is no loss in this process. Bhakti, there is no fall down. One will continue to go up. So there is no other way. Na itara. There is no other way. And this is not any Tom, Dick, Harry saying. This is the great Kashyap Muni, who is a self-realized soul, speaking this. Na itara. Iti mati mama. This is my opinion. These are the, because he's a self-realized soul, that means his opinion is aligned with Krishna's opinion. So very, very nice words, that bhakti is the solution to everything, to all the desires, and one must take shelter of Krishna only, not of anyone else, because Krishna will purify and give us the best based on our situations. Any additions, questions, comments? Okay, text 22. Let's see what Mata Aditi speaks in response. Would someone like to read? Raise your hand if you would like to read.
Can you?
You can't roll, want to read? And then Puna Mataji can read the next one.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Text 22. Shri Aditir Uvacha Kinaham Vidina Brahman Upastasye Jagatpatim Yeta me Satya Sankalpo Vidhatyat Sa Manoratam. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srimati Aditi said, O Brahmana, tell me the regulative principles by which I may worship the Supreme Master of the world so that he will be pleased with me and fulfill all my desires. Purport. It is said, man proposes, God disposes. Thus, a person may desire many things, but unless these desires are fulfilled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they cannot be fulfilled. Fulfillment of desires is called Satya Sankalpa. Here, the word Satya Sankalpa is very important. Aditi placed herself at the mercy of her husband so that he would give her directions by which to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead so that all her desires would be fulfilled. A disciple must first decide that he should worship the Supreme Lord, and then spiritual master will give him the disciple correct directions. One cannot dictate to the spiritual master, just a patient cannot demand that his physician prescribe a certain type of medicine. Here is a beginning of worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7:16. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukrit no arjuna arto jignasur arthi jnani cha bharata sharbhaha. O best among the Bharatas, 4 kind of pious men render devotion service unto me: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. Aditi was Artha, a person in distress. She was very much aggrieved because of her sons. The demigods were bereft of everything. Thus, she wanted to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead under the direction of her husband, Kashyapa Muni. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you. Please explain.
What are your lessons, Prabhuji? What are your learnings? Please share.
Um, I like this first proverb. What Prabhupada said: "Man proposes, God disposes." So it's it's a very funny thing. It's like we all plan so many things in our day-to-day life. We want to do like in the morning, even when I'm chanting. First thing I do is, okay, after I finish my chanting, I want to do these many tasks, right? So by by the time I finish my chanting, I don't do half of my things during the day. So felt that was so connected. And also here, I feel like I'm also in the mode of what Aditi is like, always desires. We want to do this. I want to get it done. I want to get it done. We never look for any specific, getting to the next level. What is beyond, or what is there? What makes me more happy? It's always looking for something that is like we always say something like, far away hills are pretty green, something like that. So um, it's always in a distress, like, we don't have something and we want to find out, we want to get that and make ourselves happy, but which is kind of false. We have to really focus on Krishna, make ourselves more focused at the uh, lotus feet of Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and beg him that to give us enlightenment um, and give us a path to look forward and show the right people to connect, or at least spiritual master, or give us enough association where we could prosper and get to the next level. That's what I understand. Please explain, Babaji, and
Thank
correct
you.
me.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. So here, Aditi is basically taking shelter of her husband, and actually a self-realized soul who's a pure devotee, and so basically a guru also, not just an ordinary husband. He's a self-realized soul, right? So, and he is willing to follow the instructions and the regulative principles. She is willing, sorry. It's a very, very important lesson that when we take shelter of the spiritual master, we should be ready and willing to follow whatever the instructions give. Prabhupada is giving example of a patient. A patient goes to a doctor. The patient must be ready to follow the instructions and the medicine of the doctor. Otherwise, the doctor will say that don't do this or do this, or take this medicine. If the patient does not follow, it's good for nothing. The visit is futile, or that instruction is good for nothing. A disciple must first decide that he should worship the Supreme Lord, and then the spiritual master will give the disciple correct directions. Very, very important. We're talking about bona fide disciple. We're not talking about any bogus baba and all that stuff. Disciple means willing to live under discipline. That's disciple. Shishya means one who wants to be ruled by the guru, or shasan. This word, the same. So then all one's desires will be fulfilled. And what is that desire? Ultimately, the desire to get shelter of the Supreme Lord. And one more interesting thing to observe here, that Kashyap Muni is not ridiculing his wife. Hey, you are such a fool. You don't know it's a material desire. Why don't you chant Hare Krishna? and just forget about your material desires. So it's very, very intelligent, right? So that's the quality of an expert physician or expert doctor, to uplift the patient from his or her current situation. Now the patient may have bad desire, the patient may have done maybe a smoking addict or maybe a alcohol addict. Now what? The past cannot be undone, but a good doctor will try to uplift the patient from his or her current situation. So, because ultimately the goal is to bring the soul condition, the conditioned soul, or the closer to the supreme soul, or that is to Krishna. So, if he would have said so, the result would have been bad. But he encouraged that, oh, you want your desires to be fulfilled? Yes, Krishna will fulfill all your desires. So isn't it like hope giving? Isn't it a very positive statement? Certainly it is. And we see that in multiple examples. All these great souls, gurus like Narad Muni, Kashyap Muni, they give the advice in a very, very uh, mature manner based on time, place, and situations to help the other person to become higher in their spiritual journey. So Aditi Mata is ready. She had some material desires, but she's ready to follow the instructions of Guru. So let's see what happens further. Yes, Puna Mataji, you can read this one.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanda Pranam everyone. Text 23. Adisam tva tvijasrasta vidhim tak dupadhavanam asu tu syati me devam siddhantya sahapotrakai. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. O best of the Brahmanas, kindly instruct me the perfect method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in devotional service, by which the Lord may very soon be pleased with me and save me, along with my sons, from the most dangerous condition. Purport. Sometimes less intelligent men ask whether one has to approach a guru to be instructed in devotional service for spiritual advancement. The answer is given here. Indeed, not only here but also in Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna accepted Kṛṣṇa as his guru. Sisyaste ham saddhi mam tvam param prapannam. The Vedas also instruct tat visnanartham sagurum eva bhikhi gachet. One must accept a guru for proper direction if one is seriously inclined towards advancement in spiritual life. The Lord says that one must worship the Acharya who is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Acharyam mam vijayaniyat. One should definitely understand this. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that the Guru is the manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, according to all the evidence given by the Shastra and by the practical behavior of devotee, one must accept a guru. Aditi accepted her husband as her guru so that he would direct her how to advance in spiritual consciousness, devotional service by worshipping the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Please tell Mataji, what did you realize or lessons?
My understanding is how important is the real bona fide spiritual master for the advancement of the spiritual life and the spiritual journey. If you get a right bona fide teacher, acharya from the disciplic succession, not anyone, like you said, not any random person, then definitely there is a way to get the liberation and go back to personality of Godhead, and not only surrendering yourself to the lotus feet, but also having the faith and direction of Guru would really help in the advancement of the spiritual life. Like Mata Aditi, she also accepted her husband as a guru that really helped her. Having a good and bona fide spiritual master is a key to the success in the spiritual life. That's all on this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very nice. Lots and lots of verses of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and other holy scriptures talk about this principle that taking shelter of bona fide spiritual master is must. It's not a question of, it's not an optional thing. It's the foundation of bhakti. It's in Guru Tattva, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, Path Pradarshak Guru, Chaitya Guru. Krishna manifests inside as Chaitya Guru and outside as the spiritual master. So, what is Mata Aditi saying? Adesha. Adesha Tvam Dvija Shreshta. O Dvija Shreshta, the best amongst Dvija or Brahmanas, Adesh Dohame. That means, Adesh means instructions. Please instruct me. I want to really follow your instructions. Because if someone is asking instruction, it's not just for the sake of instructions. Because we should be very, very eager to follow the instructions of the Guru. The words of Guru should be one's life and soul. That's a duty of a true disciple. And we see that in so many lives of so many Prabhupada disciples. Prabhupada said one thing and then they just did that. Without questioning. Maybe, no, I think I should do that. No. Not going with one's own agenda. Like in the last verse we discussed. The patient should not tell the doctor, oh doctor, you give me this medicine. I know what is good for me. If you know what's good for you, then means we don't need a doctor actually. Correct? Then our situation will be like Arjuna in the first chapter we are reading Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna thought in the first chapter, I know what's good for me. I think if I fight, this will happen. I think if I do, this will happen. Multiple reasons, family and children, and if this will happen, and whom will I enjoy, sinful life and whatnot. And later, what was the outcome? Perplexity, depression, crying, tears, ashru kulena. Therefore, in 2.7, which Prabhupada is quoting here, Shishrasteham Shadimaut. I take shelter of you, O my Supreme Lord. I do not know what's right for me. I don't know what's wrong for me. Now, I want to follow you. That's the duty of a disciple. Then, and based on one's sincerity and seriousness and surrender, the Guru will guide and the spiritual progress will be proportional. If we even take instructions, if we even take initiation, etc., but not follow it or keep, oh, I used to do like this, my grandmother's uncle's father used to do like this, oh, in my village it is done like this. So it's like, this guy Radhasham Prabhu gave one lecture. Some people learn so many things from their guru, or at least the Diksha or the Shiksha Guru. But when it comes to following, they'll say, no. Oh, in my grandmother's village, they still do it, so I'll still do it. Not knowing the essence, not knowing. So this is kind of the baggages which we are discussing in the Demons Within series also. Guru says yes. Guru says, in other purport, Prabhupada says that we should follow like military discipline. Disciple means military discipline. Guru says something, you say, yes, sir, I'll do it. Now it means, especially in this day and age, it's getting a little hard because of Kali Yuga and because of lack of, I'm talking about myself, not talking about anyone else. So, but we see in the life, I was discussing, and my wife were discussing with that how Srila Prabhupada disciples, gave their life and soul for Prabhupada's mission. So we can take, and still doing it. It's not that we're talking about 5,000 years back, we're talking about 500 years back. They are living examples who have lived their whole life. There's so many. Like Yamuna Mataji, she wanted to cook for Prabhupada, the famous story in the train. In the train, what do you call that? Pantry? Train pantry, there's cooking in Indian trains. So she wanted to go and cook because they couldn't allow anyone else to cook for Prabhupada. They had their own stuff. So they said, no, we can't allow. Just imagine, some of you may have been in Indian trains. Have you ever been to pantry? It's not a very nice place actually, especially like 50 years back. It's not a very nice place with so many rats and stuff moving around. So she said, if you don't allow me, then I'll jump off the train. And she meant it. She really meant it. And today is actually International Women's Day, and someone shared that how this process of bhakti is so sincere that Prabhupada said that she has attained the stage of bhava. Prabhupada said in her present, when Prabhupada was physically present. So that is the power of bhakti, whether one is male or female, that's on a bodily level. Great souls, like her, they completely transcend that. But nonetheless, we should not distinguish or kind of discourage anyone. We should certainly, this movement is open for one and all, young or old, male or female. And we should especially respect the great mothers, their sacrifice in the movement. And of course, none of us would have been here if our mothers would not have taken the pain and sacrifice to raise us. And not just our, biological mother. So many other mothers also have taken a lot of pains to uplift us, to help us. So again, back to Guru. So Guru is a must. Without Guru, bhakti is impossible. Any other comments, additions anyone has? So with that being said, one should, for those who may, some of you are initiated, some of us are initiated, so then we should sincerely try to follow. Here are the words of our spiritual master again and again. Some of us maybe not. Then we should sincerely try to understand how I can take the next step. What is missing in me to take the next step? In a very, of course, not in a very abrupt way, in a gentle way, in a mature way, we keep progressing. At least there should be desire to move forward. And the desire does not stop with initiation. Initiation is not the end, it's the beginning. Initiate means to begin officially. Anyone else has, Kashish Mataji wanted to say something?
Hey Krishna Prabhuji, I just wanted to know then she was able to cook for Prabhupada.
Yes. Then they saw her. Sorry, I get so lost. I forgot to share the story. They saw that this person is not an ordinary person, and she was literally about to jump if they would have not allowed. And that to an American lady 50 years back, in an Indian train. It's not a, even now you won't see American people in Indian train, right? You may see in some flights and stuff. So yes, with seeing her determination, seeing her great eagerness to serve the spiritual master, yes, they allowed. And then she cooked rice for Prabhupada in the train. And this is just one such example, one such story. That every Prabhupada disciple has countless such examples, countless such stories, countless anecdotes of surrender. Just imagine how these three couples living in cardboard boxes, young couples, like in their 20s or early 30s probably, living in cardboard boxes just because Prabhupada told that go preach in London. Right? They didn't think, oh, we are young, or we have a 3-month-old baby. I'm not saying we have to imitate that, but at least we can appreciate the level of surrender. At least we can try to follow in 1%, 0.1% of the footsteps, the level of surrender, living in cardboard boxes with a 3-month-old baby. And not knowing anyone, like, okay, we may, if we have to go, okay, give a class, okay, someone is coming, and Prashadam is ready, everything is ready, people are ready. No, not, they didn't know anyone. I mean, everything was so uncertain, no money, no resources, nothing. Recently was His Holiness Govind Swami Maharaj's disappearance, the 25th disappearance day. And his journey is also so amazing. How he struggled so much preaching in Bhubaneswar. He used to go on cycle. He used to drive so much cycle, collecting money, and there was land which was good for nothing. Then and so much struggle distributing pamphlets. There was no support, nothing. He asked for support to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, well, I went to America, I had no support. You can't do in Bhubaneswar, that's your hometown. And then he went to, he did miraculous services, and of course, so, yeah. Yes, Vipul. Prabhu, you were saying something, sorry.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah, I think they are Nitya Siddhas. They came for purposes complete the pastimes of the Prabhupada. But anyway, Prabhuji, in the verse 7:16 in the Gita, the Artha Jigashu Arthati and Geni. What is the difference between Jigashu and Geni?
Jigyasu and Gyani. One is searching. Who wants to answer that? Let's see. Who wants to answer? No, who wants to answer?
I can try.
One is wants to seek the knowledge, Jigyasu.
Okay. Yes.
Nani means he is already knowledgeable. He has attained the knowledge, right, Prabhuji?
Okay. Andali Mataji, you want to share?
So Jigyasu is curious. He's more curious, where Gyani is really seeking knowledge, and curious can be about anything. Just curious about Krishna, not really want to know. But Gyani is more like he really wants to know who is Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
So, Prabhuji, what I am contemplating that Jigashu means he wants to know who is God, where he lives, and Gani means he knows who is God, but he wants to know more elaborately. So that is I'm contemplating, but
Yeah, inquisitive. Inquisitive, like one time Gauranga Prabhu was saying this example, he was going in the train and he's chanting in his beat bag like this, like moving, and then here the other person and his co-passenger was thinking, hey, what is this going on? What he has inside? Is it a rat? Is he massaging something? And then later he took out his beads. Oh, it's a bead. I thought it's a rat or something. It's Jigyasu, right? It had inquisitive. Sometimes people have jigyasa. What they put in their prasad? It's so nectarian. So it may be sometimes material jigyasa, that how they cook their prasadam. I want to know. I want to cook that kind of, and then they get to know. Oh, they offer it to Krishna. That's a secret sauce. So it could be spiritual inquisitiveness also, and that spiritual inquisitiveness more and more, and that basically will come in the category for searching for absolute truth. So searching for absolute truth. Is there God? Who is that God? If God exists, can he come in front of me? Asking those questions. Who's the core? Who's the maintainer of this world? Where is the sun coming from? So again, from the more one inquires, if one has the right intent and one is open, then Krishna will direct that person to the right guru. If one is searching for the right thing, where there's a will, there is a way. So Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Mataji, thank you.
In the next verse, actually, Prabhupada mentions that Bhagavata mentions that of those, the one in full knowledge and who's always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. So, in short, all these four are on the level of not Shuddha Bhakti, because there is some agenda there. There is some agenda. Pure devotional service is without aspiration or desire for material profit. So these four are not considered in that category. But if one does so in the right way, one will get to the level of pure bhakti. Anything else anyone wants to add or share? No? Yes? Maybe? Okay, I think I forgot that we were supposed to do Kahoot also. It's ready, but I just forgot because all of you are so deep into this discussion. So we'll do it. I'm sure you would have studied already, but we'll do it not tomorrow because tomorrow is Ekadashi. So we'll do it the following day, which is Wednesday. Remind me at 8:30 if I forget. On Wednesday evening we'll do. But for now, we will pause here and see whether Mother Atiti followed the instructions. What were the instructions, right? That's what the whole chapter is, the Payo-vrata, right? What was that vrata? What is that Payo-vrata, which Kashyap Muni will give, and will she follow? Looks like she's very eager to follow. So we can meditate upon this today. Eagerness to follow the instructions of Guru. Okay, so we will pause here. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.